Hi everybody, thank you for joining me today. My name is Carol. Quick video here, I hope quick, on the groups that are coming together that I mentioned in my last video. So these are groups of people, small groups of people that are now starting to meet each other. You haven't met everybody in your group yet, but you're starting to meet them. And these small groups of people are supposed to help raise the vibration of Earth and all of us in it. So, in a nutshell, they are going to be, their role is very similar to that of the Dakini, Dakini. So, one moment, there's a plane passing over. So these groups of people will be helping to bring the higher divine frequencies into the earth. A lot of people are referring to these frequencies, these energy vibrations, as fifth dimensional. And they are. But so these groups of people are bringing the energy in and helping to anchor it here so that they and all beings will be able to create more freely with that higher vibrational energy. So their role as Dakinis is in the sense of when the group brings the energy in and it's like they can work with that energy and they can send peace and love and inspiration and guidance out to the other people. So it's like they're earth angels, and their role, their mission here is to help all of humanity to raise their vibrational frequencies so that we can begin to create heaven on earth here. And so how will you recognize each other? You're all going to have similar soul vibrations. So if you meet somebody and you feel drawn to each other and you feel like you know them and you have a conversation with them and you see that you're on the same wavelength and that you get it, that you understand each other, then it's likely that they're a part of your group. So what we're going to be doing is as a group, we're going to be able to raise our own individual frequencies and our own individual vibrations. And we will do that for each other, for everybody in the group. So our understandings, our knowledge, our wisdom, our ability to manifest and to create is going to become stronger as individuals. And when we come together in our groups, our cohesive, now this is in parentheses, that we will be manifesting according to the group's cohesive desires. So I'm not sure exactly how to explain that because the feeling I have about it internally is still kind of fluffy, so I'm still trying to compact it and really understand it. But it's the sense of we will be affecting, each group will be affecting different areas of the world and in different ways. The bottom line for each group is that we are working from our hearts and our cohesive desire for peace or our cohesive desire for abundance. The whole point is that each group will have a slightly different role and in a different area, but we're supposed to be coming together so that we can affect the way that people feel and the way that they see things and understand things, so that everybody who's waking up and those who are on the verge of it will be able to understand what is happening and to be able to deal peacefully and comfortably with the changes so that there's not a big eruption of drama and difficulties that don't have to be there. We ourselves right now are being assisted from many levels of our being. So we're being assisted by ETs, extraterrestrials. We're being assisted by divine energies that are non-embodied and divine energies that have never been embodied. We're also being assisted by other dimensions that have a higher frequency, that exist on a higher frequency. Been there, done that, they know how to help us. One group that contacted me a few weeks ago called themselves the Omegas because they are where we are going. And the way that they explained it to me is that they had the opportunity, the Omegas had the opportunity. Now, they are not the Alpha and the Omega. They call themselves the Omegas because they had the opportunity to move on into non-embodiment and become closer to the Creator, but they chose to stay in a human form, to enjoy the sensations of the physical body, the smells, the sights, the sounds, the tastes, the emotions. But they are at that level where there is non-attachment, and they can see past the duality, they can see past the separation. So they call themselves the Omegas because they are the last step of an embodiment before they move on to non-embodiment and go closer to the Creator, the Prime Source. So they chose to stay there like that, and they're guiding us now because that's where we're headed. We're headed to this place of where we understand the non-separation on a more internal level, where we will understand that duality is only because of how our little minds see things. We're at that point where our next step is moving closer to where the Omegas are. And when we get there, we get to enjoy our heaven on earth. And we can choose then whether or not we're going to stay here or we're going to move on, leave our physical bodies, and move closer to the Creator. But those are steps away yet. So most humans, I shouldn't say most humans, a lot of humans, the ones who are awakening now, that's what we are going through. We're going through this process, this change that is taking us up into higher frequencies, into higher vibrations of being, where what we think, what we feel inside, and what we speak, we will be manifesting. So it's important for us to, all of us, to stay peaceful inside of ourselves and to not buy into the negative thoughts that, they keep popping up. They're trying to tell us to worry about this or worry about that, or what did you leave behind, and why don't I have this, and why don't I have that, and why did he say that, why did she do that? We're not supposed to be there with that, because we're going to create more of that, because that's how the vibrations are working now, how the frequencies are. They're just that high, they're just that strong, they're just that potent. So as a human being, we get caught in our stories, in our mind traps. And if we do that, we're going to create more of that. So the groups that are coming together, the Dakini-like people, are going to be able to focus their energies together and send it out to particular areas and groups of people so that they can create peace and calm inside those people, so that they can help those people to let go of their negative thoughts. So here's a really good example. So if you're confused by what I am trying to describe now with the Dakini groups that are coming together, you can find a really good example of it in one of James Redfield's books. And so he must have gotten this information a long time ago, but it is Shambhala, or The Road to Shambhala, or something like that. But Shambhala is in the title, and it's one of his last books that he wrote. So in that book, he describes how a group of human beings come together in order to create the peace and harmony, and to nudge people to get them out of the anger and the fear and the resentment and the chaos that our minds, our little minds, can create. So the other thing that I get about these groups is I get 5, and I don't know if that is the limit or the minimum, etc. But I do get 5, and what I get are 4 pillars. And so maybe there are, if there are more people that want to be in the group, they can be in the center of these 5. But I get 4 pillars and a capstone, and that's so I'm maybe the minimum, but I get 4 pillars and a capstone, and everybody will have their own personal strengths. Everybody will be able to do all of these things, but each individual will be stronger in one area or the other. So these people are healers, manifestors, seers, empaths, and translators. And the sense that I got about the translator is like the capstone above these 4 pillars, and the translator is able to almost like a channel to bring the energy in and to help the group understand what the energy is that is coming in. So it's kind of like so if you have, I don't even know how to describe it, but okay, so if you have the 4 pillars, you have one pillar will be like a healer, the other pillar will be a manifestor, the other pillar will be a seer, being able to see things, and the other pillar will be an empath who can feel things so good that they can get to the heart of the matter. So somebody says, if a human beings have the tendency to say something and not really feel it inside themselves, so it's not really a truth. So an empath, a strong empath, can see past that. They can feel past that, so they can get to the heart of the matter and find the truth in that moment. So you have the healer, the manifestor, the seer, the empath. Each has pillars, and then you have the translator, who is the capstone. And that translator can bring the information together that the healer gets, that the seer gets, that the manifestor gets, that the empath gets. And the translator can see the whole picture. The translator can see, oh yeah, this is what this looks like, and this is what we're supposed to do with it. So if anybody else has any information on that, please feel free to post it below and help us all to figure it out. Because as this goes along, this is something that we're all going to figure out together. It's not, no one group or no one person is going to have all the information, because we're seeing it from different levels. One person or group might see what it looks like from below, and so we can see the base of it like this, and another group will see it from above, and so they can see, the whole outlay. Another one might see it from the left, and the other group or person from the right, and on an angle, etc. So if we communicate everything that we're seeing, that we're getting about these groups that are coming together, and how we are going to work within these energies, then we will be able to, if we share it, we'll be able to figure it out much more easily and help everybody else to pull it all together. Okay, so this video is getting longer than I wanted it to be, but I knew I had to get it out there ASAP. I love you all very much. So I also want to put a little plug in here for a wonderful, wonderful soul, and she has a beautiful channel on YouTube, and it's called Ask the Angels. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, but I'll find it and I'll put a link to it below in my description box. I have put one of her videos on my Facebook page a couple of weeks back, because I'm going through all of my transitions and stepping into my power and becoming more and more comfortable with embracing it. So as I do that, I find myself a little bit less impelled or compelled to make the videos. So while I'm working through my stuff and understanding what is happening, I'm not making a lot of videos. And I would like you all to be aware of what's going on. And this young lady, Melanie, has some really, really good insight. She brings in very clear, very high energy, and I think you'll find her channel quite informative. So anyhow, I will put her link below. Love you all. Blessings. Find reasons to be happy.